Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to another stretch class. Today we're going to have a bit of an experiment with the splits. I did mention it a little bit last lesson. Basically it's probably something that everybody wants to be able to do, specifically if you're doing something like hoop or you've got jazz or modern exams or something like that coming up. Please excuse the floor, I have actually just hoovered and swept, but I have cats. Anyway, so you've got two things to consider when you're doing splits. You need to be mindful of how far you can push, and you've also got to be mindful of how strong you need to be to hold it. I mean, it kind of hinges on where your muscles are, and it hinges on basically how flexible various different parts of your hips and the backs of your legs are. So to start with, first of all, let's just do a little bit to warm our spines up and our legs up, get going, and then we'll get into the splits stuff. Okay? First of all, you might want to grab a blanket, sit that underneath you. I've got a cushion just in case I need it for my knee later. As of now, we're just going to start lying down. Stretch your arms above your head, pull them out, stretch your feet to the opposite wall, flex your feet, stretch your feet, and then let go and have a shake. Stick your legs up, and we'll just do a couple of Pilates roll-ups to get your spines moving today. So what you want to do is you need your hips and your shoulders nice and relaxed. Tiny little gap under your spine, a natural gap where your back naturally lies. So you're not wanting to push your back into the floor, because that comes later. And you don't want to have your back arched artificially up off the floor. Just resting and relaxed. Knees and hips in the same alignment. And you need your feet fairly close to your body. Off we go. So tilting your pelvis underneath first, pushing your spine to the floor, rolling up, all the way to the top. Take a breath in, and out, and start rolling back down as you go. Making sure that all the different little bits of your spine come into contact with the floor. Hello Ziggy. And again, tilting that pelvis in, using your stomach muscles to protect your spine as you roll up and off the floor. All the way up, take a breath in, and out. As you can see, I use my breath to help me roll down, all the way to the floor, and relax. 2 more times, then we'll curl into a ball, and we'll do some stretches for the legs. Rolling in, all the way up, all the way to the top, taking a deep breath in, and out. Using your breath to roll down all the way to the floor. Just check you're not moving too far away from your legs. Adjust yourself if necessary. Last time. Pelvis tucked underneath. Rolling all the way up, pushing those bones into the floor. All the way to the top. Breathe in. Breathe out. And rolling down. Make sure you push each bone into the floor. It's very difficult once you get to your lower back, I find. And relax. Curl up into a wee ball. Relax your back off, relax your legs off. And now let's have a bit of a stretch up legs. So firstly, let's start lying on our backs. Let's start with the leg that's closest to the camera. That's my left. So I'm lifting it up in the air. Give it a shake first, get the muscles nice and relaxed. And then what you want to do is just hold it where you can feel a pull. Let's say, yeah, about here-ish for me. You can stretch your foot if you want. You can flex your foot if you want. That is, bear in mind, quite an intense feeling through your calf, so just be careful. I'm going to keep going on this because this leg in particular feels very stiff today. And relax. Give your leg a shake. Okay, and stretching back up again. If you can, try and pull it a little closer. And relax. Give it a shake. And last time. Now you'll probably be feeling a pull down here. What you don't want is sharp pain that feels like it's pulling or stretching. What you do want is just an ache. So be very careful. If you feel like it's too much with your knee too far stretched, relax your knee a little bit. You want to be stretching your hamstrings. You don't want to be causing yourself undue pain. Okay, and relax. Let me just take 5 minutes to eject the cat off the mantelpiece. Life with cats. Come on, buddy. Good boy. All the way down. Good job. Right. Tell you what. Since I've got up, I'll show you the other side, but so you can still see the camera leg, okay? So now I've got my right leg. We're going to do the same thing again. Lying down, getting yourself comfy on your mat. This leg is here to prop you up. Your hips should be nice and level, no pitching, tilting or shifting. Try and keep that nice neutral spine position, okay? So, take your leg to right pulse. Give it a stretch. I'm doing the one with the flexed foot. You can point it if you want. If you're feeling stiff in your shins from all, walking around in flip-flops, because I know that's what happens to me when I wear them, point your foot and you might be able to feel a pull through the front of your shin. That helps a lot for that stiffness you get when you're walking in sandals. So stretching. Nice and relaxed. You can hold as high as you want, as low as you want. Just watch the edge of your knee. There's lots of nerves around here and it's very sensitive. And then relax that leg, give it a good shake. And stretch your leg up again. There we go. I'll prop my leg up like this time. Be careful that this leg doesn't start wandering around. It's got to stay nice and still and support that hip. Try as hard as you can not to tilt your pelvis. I know it's tough. You'll want to kind of do this. Don't. Long neck, long shoulders, long back. And keep flexing that foot. Push your heel to the ceiling, relax your leg. And again. Pushing the heel up to the ceiling if you're doing this. Pushing your toes to the ceiling if you are. If you want, you can give the back of that leg a bit of a rub. Trying to get it nice and relaxed. Well, this side's much stiffer than the other. And relax. Give your legs a good shake. Roll into a little ball. Squeeze in. And relax. Give your legs a shake on the floor, really hammer those legs down. That feels really nice actually. Right, we'll do a bit of legs over the head, spine loosening kind of stuff, because believe it or not, you do kind of need a bendy spine for splits. So, the same-ish thing again for the starting position. You want to... cat fight, please ignore it. You want to tuck your legs in, rolling them over the head, and stretch out this way. It is very hard to talk here, so you forgive me if I'm silent for a little bit. And then slowly rolling your legs back down off the floor, through your spine. Probably, if you are anything like me currently, and I'm a bit stiff, feel a stretch down your legs as you're coming back. And again, legs overhead, touching the floor. Stay there, try and breathe, I know it's tough. And then pull your legs towards you, rolling down through your spine. All the way, nice and gently. Give your legs a shake. Take a nice deep breath, you probably earned it by now. Legs over your head again. This time stretch your feet and see if it makes a difference. For me it's that pull up my shins that I was talking about. And then pulling your legs towards you and rolling down. This is much harder without flexed feet for some reason. And give your legs a shake. Last time. Legs over your head. If you've got a very bony neck bone, sometimes it helps to kind of put a cushion underneath you when you're doing this. I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier. And then we're going to roll down. Try and keep your legs nice and stretched as you go. All the way down. And relax. Okay. So, splits is always a difficult thing to manage because usually it doesn't just rely on your hamstrings, it also relies on your hip flexors as well. That's a series of muscles, I'll kneel up and show you. It's a series of muscles just here, little pockets all tucked in. If I stretch that out you'll be able to see better, much better. So there's a band of muscle here that connects your thighs even, all the way up to the top of your hip bone. Those are your hip flexor muscles, same on this side. Those usually get very tight and that's usually what causes people to have serious issues getting into splits, aside from tightness in the hamstrings. one of those two things will probably apply. The other thing is, it is very difficult to get into splits with twisted, non-square hips and then learn to twist them later on. I did it, I have to admit, wasn't easy. Let's have a go at a couple of basic split stretch exercises. Sorry about that, my camera battery decided to die on me. So we'll start with the split stretch exercise I was just explaining. We've done this before. So you're kneeling up, you might want to grab a cushion, I think I'm going to. My cushion's going under my right knee because I'm going to work on my left. Leg out, and just relax forward over your leg, nice and gently. Try not to do any weird stuff with your hips, try and keep them as square as possible. Now, whilst you're down there, you want to breathe gently, making sure that you're not pushing into really sharp, like, I hesitate to use the word, but sharp, agonising pain. You want to just gently stay there and let the back of that leg relax as much as possible. Easier said than done, but it does help. Try and relax your head as much as you can. Walk your hands forward a little bit just to really get a bit more stretch. And a bit more. And come back, nice and slowly and carefully. That's the name of the game when you're trying to get into splits, because you do not want to tear a hamstring. I'm pretty sure I tore one when I was working in Berkhamsted in the dance company. I tore it right down here, right at the top of my hamstring, whilst I was doing a punch arabesque, and it's never quite been right since. So just be really careful. Stick your leg out in front of you. Make sure you've got enough room. Keep those hips nice and square. I've got my right leg out, left leg underneath. It's very difficult when you've taught and you have to switch everything around. So gently walk over that leg, head down, try and relax as much as possible. Oh, it's not as bad as I'd feared. Keep breathing. Nice and relaxed. Try not to strain or stress. Try and keep everything as nice and relaxed as possible. If you want, you can walk forward a bit. Now, people who are super bendy and are already in splits, this is good anyway just to keep your hip placement correct and keep square. If you want, you can slide out a bit further and stick your head down over that knee. Again, just don't push into anything sharp. It has to be like a dull ache. I mean, this is about my limit for right now, so I'm just going to stay here. And then come back, gently and carefully, and just sit back on your hamstrings, just let them completely relax. Whilst they're like this, and this muscle is working, this is relaxed. So the opposite to that is doing your hip flexors. So let's think, I want this further back. You want to position your cushion so you can stick your knee on it. I'm going to start with my right leg. I'm going to put my right leg in front and my left leg behind. I'm going to stretch down into that hip flexor. Be very careful. I've pulled my hip flexors before, that's really, really not fun. Be very gentle. Use your arms to prop you up, use the weight of your foot to prop you up. If you want, like yoga, you can head down into a full stretch, arms on the floor. Nice deep breath. Hello, Zig. Zig's come to help, haven't you? I must admit, it's much easier to stretch with a cat distracting you. Okay, hands back up. Stretch right up. And then pull back. And give yourself a bit of a stretch. Curling in, relaxing off that hip flexor that you've just stretched. And we're going to do the other one. So kneeling up, this time I've got my left leg in front of me. And make sure you get your placement right. Now I'm going to need that to go further forward. There's perfect. So we start off with both hands on the floor, and you need to make sure that this shoulder, the same shoulder as the leg you've got up, is behind your leg. So you're here, really relax into that hip. Use your arms to prop you up, support your leg and your arms with this leg and your arms. Relaxing down into that hip. And then if you feel that's okay, heading down into your full yoga stretch, head down, just relax, try and chill out there, I know it's tough. And if you're anything like me, there's one side that's easier and the other side that's quite tough. Try and relax as much as possible. Okay, gently come up. Stretch right into that hip flexor one last time. Chin up. Tuck your legs in. Kneel back down and relax completely. Just stick your hands on the floor and your head on your hands. Now, if you're really struggling with that and you're feeling pain into your knee, please go easy on it, because one of your hip flexors connects all the way from the top of your hip and loops round to go underneath your kneecap, so be very careful. Side splits. So, kneeling on one leg, hand out to the side, slide down nice and gently, use your arms for support, and if you can, if you find it easy, down onto your arms and relax. If you're feeling a pull along here, great. If you can go for full side splits, go right ahead, but just make sure you're relaxed as you do so. Stay there for as long as you can. Coming up, kneeling on that other leg, have a bit of a relax there, just sit there, let your legs relax off. Do your other leg. So, I think I'll move over a little bit. Leg out to the side, starting upwards, and slowly and gently work yourself down. Imagine that leg going long through the other wall until you can just relax over it. Make sure that you've got your knee supported and stretched as you do this. Don't just let your knee be hanging around. Relax as much as you can into that stretch. There we go. That's better. There's more stretch coming out here. And work yourself back up again. Tuck your leg under yourself. We're going to do a second version of that. So, leg like you were going to sit cross-legged, other leg, out to the side, flex your foot, and you want to bend over sideways as far as you can. Now some of you will basically have your hand on your foot, that's fine, hold it there. If you're where I am, it doesn't matter. If you're here and it's still hurting, it doesn't matter. Wherever there's a pull is good. So relax as far as you can over. You might find it helpful to grab your other foot, you might find it helpful to have your hand where I've got it. And try the other leg. Leg out to the side, sitting up tall and stretching over. Weirdly enough, this side works out better than the other. Okay, for the last couple of stretches we're going to have a go at holding splits. We'll just do the front, the straightforward splits like a grand jeté on a bomb. So I'm going to try again with the cushion under my knee, sticking that down on the floor. We're going to start like we did before, kneeling up like this, hands down, and your hands are going to hold you as you walk yourself forward towards splits. Now I've not done splits in quite a while, so I'm staying here. If you can go into full splits, please feel free to do so, just be careful. Try and breathe into it as much as you can. That hand was not in the right place, it feels a bit better there. Try and relax as much as you can into that, and then bring yourself back in and curl up into a tiny ball. Repeat with your other leg. So kneeling up, leg out, my knee popped. Hands down, walking yourself forwards gently. Sorry about that, camera battery died yet again. So we were about here, Make sure to hold on nice and still. Keep breathing. That was not very square. I can move my leg forward to adjust it. If you feel daring, have a go at sliding a little further. Not into sharp pain, just into an ache. Okay. And pull yourself back into a little ball. And relax. So, I'm going to have a quick chat to you about side splits. Those were my nemesis. I got my forward splits, if we're going to call them that, fairly quickly. Side splits were a nemesis. I struggled so hard with them, and the only real way I learnt to crack them was by lying against a wall and just letting my legs fall open and just staying there. It's horrible to start with. It's not the most pleasant thing, but eventually your muscles just relax and your legs start just falling by their own accord. I wouldn't recommend doing that without supervision of a teacher, however, right now, unless you're basically on Advanced 1, Advanced 2 or Diploma and you know what you're doing, you've been doing this for years. Because the thing about when you do it that way and you lie against a wall and let your legs fall open is it is very hard to get up afterwards. You're lying there kind of like a bit of a starfish, stuck, and you need someone to help you roll your legs in and then curl up into a ball and get out of it. So that's why I'd recommend if you're going to do that, you find somebody who's qualified / teacher type person, or you make sure that you've got a friend with you, difficult in times of lockdown, which is why I'm recommending you wait to do this, and the friend helps you get out of it afterwards. The other thing I would like to say is do not hold it past where you can physically stand it. Like if you're crying and sweating and shaking, you've torn something, that's not good. If you're like, oh, this sucks, then that's probably all right. For the last couple of things we're going to do, we're going to focus on a bit of hamstring flexibility. So I just need to move my cushion. I'll whiz around. We'll do our usual stretch. One we're going to do this time with straight legs, and then the next time we'll do it with pointed feet. So flex feet first. And roll down through your spine. Ooh, that's stiffer than I thought. Stretch right out. Try and grab onto your feet if you can. And try and flex the whole foot, not just your toes. Can you see the difference? Stay there. Take a few deep breaths. You can change your hands if it's not comfortable. Okay, let go, let everything go. Just relax over your legs. Try and get as far down as possible. And then sit up. Give your legs a shake. A nice hard shake. Point your feet. And stretch nicely down as far as you can. If you've got long arms like me, you can tuck your toes over like this. You can hold your hands onto your toes and push them towards the floor to get a bit of a stretch through the front of your foot and your shin. And stay there. Okay, relax everything, just flop right down. Try and get as close as you can to your legs. If you can kiss your knees, fantastic. And sit up, give your legs a shake. If you practice those exercises pretty much once every single day, I guarantee you by the end of the week you'll see results. The last couple of things we're going to do, just to wind up, just stretch our neck and shoulders because they're probably a bit tense from holding those positions. So fingers crossed. Loop them around the back of your head. This is what I was trying to show you last lesson when my camera died again. So we're going to tuck our chin in and roll down. Just stay there. Make sure to breathe. And let go of your arms. And just roll up. You might notice that as you breathe, your head's rolling down a little bit further each time. That's fine. So we're going to do the thing I did last time. Hand over your head. Stretching this way. Nice deep breaths. You can shut your eyes like I'm doing if you want. And gently back up again, using your hand to keep supporting your head. Other hand on the floor, hand on the side of your head. Stretching away. And I think I've been sleeping funny, I've got a very stiff neck on this side. So breathe into that if it's painful. Just try and relax as much as possible, and wouldn't you know it, the pain's slowly going away. And back up again. Hands on the floor, tilt your head up to the ceiling. Tilt it to the side. All the way down. To the side. Keeping those shoulders still, that's why your hands are on the floor, stop you wiggling your shoulders. Head back straight. Thank you very much for coming and joining in with this class. See you next time.